Masking in Blender can get really intimidating, however it can get also really fun. So let's begin with something simple, gradient mask. Okay, let's have two ads. One will be Futsk and second Doritos, Jaws. Now add a gradient texture. Yeah, this is where the fun begins. You can kinda control it with color ramp, but in this case it's way easier to use brightness and contrast. Contrast controls the sharpness of the edge and brightness controls the position of the edge. Animate it! Not bad, not bad. Now use it as a factor for mix RGB and plug it into a mission shader, you're done. If you feel really crazy, let some Voronoi texture control your contrast. Also, I recommend you using zero randomness. And look at that, very cool. Okay, now let's create some procedural eye. I will leave the tutorial for the thing I have here on the end of the video. You can watch it. However, we have this now and we want to separate it from everything else, so iris and white stuff around the eye. Let's make gradient, but this time let's make it spherical. If you have no triangle, hit Ctrl T and bring up mapping and texture coordinates node. To centralize the gradient, put in -0.5 and -0.5 on certain axes, X and Y. Fun fact, if you add power node and add it to like 3 or something, it gets way more differentiated. Now with a color ramp with red, green and blue. Order doesn't really matter, it just gotta be pure red, green and blue. And then use that to separate the masks, or separate the parts of the eye as you wish. Now you separate the RGB node and tada, you have your mask. It was just a matter of fiddling with stuff, making it work, mixing it together based on those masks. And it's not just for eyes. I mean, you want to do some weird space fungus? Well, here you go. It's the same thing. I know that the material of this is quite intimidating, but as long as you understand the basic, it's always the same. Like, you just make the texture, mix it with something else just based on red, green and blue, and there you go. There's nothing else and nothing less. It's simple actually. But who cares about fungus? We like fans. I like fans. Everyone likes fans. Fans are the top tier Blender modeling thing you can model. Okay, hear me out. Model some sort of simple fan. I like to model it based on some texture, so yeah, I encourage you to do it and just while modeling mess around with UVs so you get everything perfectly fine and simple. Now that you have it, do the spherical gradient thing. Done! Nice! Now comes the fun part. Mix it with your image and mask out just the fan thing that is like the fan, and invert it a little bit just so it is black on those stripes and white everywhere else. Now with another gradient, this time make it radial and same thing, just put it in center. Next you just need to color ramp it until it makes these like striped things. Enter out a mapping node and turn Z to turn the whole thing. Wow, what the well, look at that, that's so cool. It's spinny. Oh, okay, next thing, add a brick texture and just fiddle around so it makes like this grid shaped thing. Mix them up and use darken mode. Great, now add a pink emission shader, mix it in based on this with some, I don't know, gray diffuse shader, and then mix that with the original texture based on the mask we created earlier. And you have this. I mean, isn't that so cool? Oh, also animate the spinny boy. Voila! You have the fans. Boy, how do I love fans. Fans are cool. Air conditioners are cool. Everything that blows air is cool. Everything is fans. I love fans. Fans are cool. Don't you think so? For the promised eye tutorial, you need a radial gradient. I forgot an important aspect. You don't want to go from black to white. You gotta go from black to white to black. then mix it in with UV. Why? I don't really know, and I don't really care, it just works. Then plug it into noise texture, and I didn't do it here, but you can plug it in Voronoi too and mix those two, and it looks good. So yeah, feel free to do it. If you are this far in the video, I fucking love you. It's my birthday, not today, but it was my birthday. Even in May, I planned to do this as my birthday special, but I kinda wasn't able to do all the renders right and plan the video. Like, yeah, I wasn't able to do that, so. Yeah, it's kind of tradition for these videos to celebrate someone's birthday. So yeah, I hope you I hope you have a good time, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So also thanks for 100 views on my other video. You're amazing.